Let's talk elections, Ugandan elections. President Yoweri Museveni has ruled Uganda for 3 decades but faces his toughest challenge yet. Over 15 million Ugandans are registered to vote, casting ballots in over 28,000 polling stations for both the president and members of parliament. For more on what the mood is like on the streets ahead of today's election in Uganda, let's cross over to our correspondent, Julius Mugambwa, who is in Uganda. Julius, thank you for joining us. The past 2 days have been a nightmare with supporters basically burning down barricades. What is the mood like this morning?
This morning it all turned out to be a voting day. Ugandans just closed all other businesses to come and vote. But what I've heard from some polling stations around Kampala, some voting material arrived late. Some polling stations' voting materials arrived about an hour late. But as we speak, in a number of polling stations, people are queuing in long lines. I think they are following what their candidates have always told them. Wake up early morning and come and vote.
All right. Now, is there some sort of rigging fear amongst the voters as they make their way to the voting stations?
If it's a question of rigging, then it's not necessarily new, as in it's not necessarily a 2016 question, because the opposition has talked about it in previously, that there's a chance that there could be rigging. But as we speak now, no one has raised such an issue since morning. We've seen the observers move in some of the polling stations, and we've not had any preliminary report from any of them. So if rigging will be there, maybe it will be reported later, but for now, things seem to come.
Everything's smooth right now. Polling stations are open?
Yeah, the polling stations are open, though voting material in some of them arrived late.
Yeah. I mean, the president has been in power for close on 4 decades now. Do people want to see change? Are they ready for change in Uganda?
President Museveni, yes, has been in power since 1986. Those are 30 years in power. And also adding to that, Uganda has never changed the leader through an election. So when you look at that and then you weigh with how many people are all getting into this, you realize that, okay, there's a number that supports the incumbent, but also the opposition has a huge following. So that will only be determined by how many people vote for the incumbent and how many people vote for the opposition.
Mm-hmm. Just close it up with us. I mean, expectations. Do we expect Museveni to get this election again? I know there are 7 opposition candidates, though.
That's a very big question to answer if we expect President Museveni to win or not. Because now the voting has just started. We've seen a campaign of numbers. 2016 campaigns can be largely termed as campaigns of crowds. Now, President Museveni managed to pull a number of crowds here in Kampala and in the countryside where he went to look for votes. And also, when you look at the pictures of the opposition, it's all amazing. So you cannot really tell whether these crowds will necessarily turn into the real votes that these candidates are looking for. Other than that, both of them seem to have support, so it's really unpredictable at this moment.
Right, we'll follow it. We'll chat to you again. Julius, thank you very much for talking to us. Elections in Uganda underway. Polling stations are open. A few don't have materials, but it seems that all is going well during these big elections taking place in the country. That was our correspondent there, Julius Mugambwa, our SABC correspondent. Let's take a break. We've got a play out for you after this. It's a great surprise. Stay tuned.